Welcome to the Blanco Wellness Podcast. Thank you for being here. Take a breath, settle in, and let's talk today about one of the most elegant frameworks for understanding human nature that any tradition has ever produced. Within traditional Chinese medicine, there is a system of thinking about the natural world and about people that has been refined across thousands of years of careful observation. It is called the five-element theory, and while the names are simple, wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, what they describe is anything but. They are not merely the physical substances you might imagine. They are patterns, archetypes of how energy moves, how qualities express themselves in nature and in people, how different aspects of human experience relate to each other and to the larger cycles of the natural world. Understanding them offers something genuinely useful, a more complete and more compassionate way of understanding why you are the way you are, what you need more of, and what tends to pull you out of balance. The ancient Chinese observed the natural world with a quality of patient, sustained attention that is rare in any era. They watched the movement of seasons, the behavior of rivers, the growth of forests, the decay and renewal of everything around them. And what they consistently found was that nature expresses itself in five distinct but interrelated qualities, cycling continuously through the year and through every living system. Wood in spring, fire in summer, earth in the late summer transition, metal in autumn, water in winter. These were not simply categories of weather. They were recognizable patterns of energy, each with its own particular character, its own virtues, its own vulnerabilities, and its own essential contribution to the health of the whole. Wood is the energy of spring, of growth pushing upward, of vision and direction, and the particular aliveness of something new beginning to find its form. In people, wood energy is the quality of ambition and creativity, the impulse toward forward movement, the capacity to see where something wants to go and to move toward it with genuine commitment. When wood is healthy, it produces people who are decisive, who grow steadily, who bring genuine vision to whatever they are engaged in. When wood is out of balance, when it is frustrated by obstacles or suppressed by fear of change, it tends to express itself as irritability, impatience, or the particular agitation of someone who knows where they want to go but cannot find the way there. The invitation of wood in those moments is patience. Even the tallest tree grew one ring at a time. Fire is the energy of summer, warmth, joy, connection, the particular quality of aliveness that comes from genuine communion with other people. In people, fire is the capacity for love and laughter, for celebration and spontaneity, for the kind of presence that makes others feel genuinely seen and genuinely warmed. When fire is healthy, it produces a quality of joy that is infectious and genuine, and relationships that are nourishing rather than depleting. When fire burns too intensely or becomes scattered through chronic overstimulation, it produces the particular exhaustion of someone who has been performing connection and joy rather than genuinely feeling them. The invitation of fire is to enjoy fully without burning yourself in the process, to know when to gather warmth and when to let the fire rest. Earth is the energy of nourishment and stability, the quality that gives things their center, that provides the ground from which everything else can grow. In people, earth energy is the capacity to care genuinely for others, to create environments of warmth and safety, to be the person that others can rely on. Earth people often have a natural gift for nurturing, for making others feel held and welcome. The shadow of earth appears when the caring becomes self-depleting, when the person who takes care of everyone has forgotten to care for themselves, when the worry for others has become chronic, when the stability being provided to everyone else is not being given to the person providing it. the invitation of earth is generosity that begins from genuine fullness rather than from an empty place trying to give what it does not have. Metal is the energy of autumn, of releasing, of refining, of the particular beauty that comes from letting go of what is no longer needed. In the natural world, autumn is when the trees shed their leaves without grief, when nature simplifies itself in preparation for the restoration of winter. In people, metal energy is the capacity for discernment, for knowing what is genuinely valuable and what is merely accumulated, for the kind of clear seeing that allows unnecessary things to be released. When metal is balanced, it produces people of depth and clarity, with a genuine appreciation for quality and meaning over quantity and surface. When metal is out of balance, letting go becomes impossible. Grief that has nowhere to complete itself, the accumulation of old things long past their usefulness, a rigidity that protects against further loss, but at the cost of genuine aliveness. The invitation of metal is to trust that what falls away creates space for something genuinely new. Water is the energy of winter, of stillness, of depth, of the particular kind of wisdom that only comes from genuine rest and genuine quiet. Water is the oldest element in this system, associated with the deep reserves of vitality that sustain everything else, with intuition, with the capacity to remain present through fear rather than being driven by it. When water is healthy, it produces people of genuine depth, thoughtful, patient, capable of waiting for the right moment rather than forcing what is not ready. When water is depleted, as it so often is in contemporary life, where rest is treated as an obstacle to productivity rather than as its foundation, the result is fear, exhaustion, and the loss of connection to one's own inner knowing. The invitation of water is the most countercultural of all. Rest not as earned reward, but as essential practice, as the replenishment of the deepest reserves from which everything else in a life ultimately draws. What makes this system so enduring is precisely that none of these elements stands alone. All five are necessary. All five are present in every person, in varying proportions, in varying seasons of a life. The question is never which element is correct, but which one is currently calling for more attention. Which quality your life is asking you to cultivate. Which one has become depleted or excessive. What the particular season you are in right now actually requires. As we close today, I want to leave you with a question worth sitting with. Which of these five qualities feels most present in your life right now? And which feels most absent, most needed? The answer tends to know itself if you give it enough quiet to surface. Thank you for being here with me today. Until next time, be well.